What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network and channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shy, Kelvin, Jermaine, KB Film Room, Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right. That's right. For everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel. Help make the show the best that it can be. Let's talk some NBA, man. Let's talk some NBA. And same old song, man. Same old song, man. Same old record for the past 7 years, man. Can you imagine that, man? Every year, man, it's the same old song, man. Picking and prodding, man. You know what I mean? We got to make moves. We got to make trades. We need a guard. We need shooters. We need wings. We need more scoring off the bench. We need bigs. We need rim protectors, dog. I'm telling you, think about it, man. You got a 15-man roster, but you still need everything. I mean, oh my God. And what's crazy about it, they said last year, the experts, I'm talking about the supposed experts of the NBA, they said the Lakers had it on lock. When they made them off-season moves, when they signed Cam Reddish, they said, we got the Lakers now have a 3-and-D wing. He can defend. They signed Gabe Vincent. Oh, man, he's the backup point guard. He can be the playmaker when the Hurricane is taking out the game for rest. They said, man, Christian Woods, he's the stretch 5. He can space the floor. Jackson Hayes, he can protect the rim. He can block shots. And it's the same old song. They right back at square one, man. It's the same old song. And I believe now all of a sudden it's this rally cry again. We need a big. The Lakers need a big. The Los Angeles Lakers need a big. They need a center. Even though they've had about 15 players to try to play that position since they traded Ivica Zubac during the middle part of the 2018-2019 season. The first year they brought the Hurricane to the team. From Dwight Howard to Tyson Chandler, from Tyson Chandler to JaVale McGee to Dwight Howard to Marc Gasol to Andre Drummond to Damian Jones twice to Roman Gabriel. They brought back Dwight Howard in 2021. They brought in DeAndre Jordan. I mean, I can go down the line. Carmelo Anthony plays center for the team. The Hurricane plays center for the team. Roman Gabriel, who was undersized, but they stuck him out there. They had Stanley Johnson before they traded him to Utah along with Taylor Horton Tucker. He played the 5, the small ball 5, the small ball version of the 5. And then the following year, they brought back Thomas Bryant, who they drafted in 2017. And I'm gonna tell you, of all outside of Zubac, and I'm being dead serious, man. The player who best played that position, I'm talking about as a starter who can give you, what he provided. When Anthony Davis suffered his last major injury, for the Lakers, he's been relatively healthy since. So, he's been healthy, and they still not doing anything. Okay. Thomas Bryant, when they put him in the starting lineup, he had 17 points and 8 rebounds, and he won 5 games for the Lakers that year in 2022-2023. Before they reduced his minutes when Anthony Davis, returned back from that foot injury he had, and then he got traded. Then they brought in Mo Bamba from the Orlando Magic in a deal involving Patrick Beverley, who they traded for from Utah by giving up Taylor Horton Tucker and Stanley Johnson. I'm telling you, man, it's like a Ferris wheel, man. It's like a Ferris wheel. And Mo Bamba, okay, Oh, I forgot about Andre Drummond. How can I forget Andre Drummond? He's supposed to be the icing on the cake. They brought him in. You know, he was in his prime. They signed him after he was bought out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right? He's supposed to have been the answer. And within 3 months, he was gone. He's been playing backup since. 4-time rebounding champion, by the way. They've had all these big men. Now all of a sudden they pressing the front office, make a move, give up them last 2 draft picks. You got you have rights, that you have rights to, that you can trade, full rights to. Even after you gave up the 27 first round pick to essentially facilitate in bringing in D'Angelo Russell when Russell Westbrook was traded to the Utah Jazz. In the deal, they brought in Malik Beasley, who's gone, Jared Vanderbilt, who's returning back to the lineup this weekend after being out for about a year due to injury. And I wish injury on nobody. So what I'm trying to say is, man, I believe what triggered this latest pursuit to put pressure on the front office to acquire a big man. Now, the talk is Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz. And he's a talented young center. He can play, but the problem is he's a player of the Utah Jazz. Why would the Utah Jazz give up arguably their second best player? No worse than their third best player. Why would they do that for, man? Why would they do that for? I believe what triggered this was because of their game versus the Clippers. And they didn't really realize how good Zubac is. I believe that's what led to this latest push to bring in a big man. Because it was said that Zubac, when he was traded to the Clippers, was basically a bust. So all of a sudden, man, we need a big, man. We need a big. Well, my contention is right on schedule. Is that the future center of the Lakers, when he was 21 years old, midway during his third year in the NBA, was traded. Mainly to free up cap space. Going into the offseason as they was trying to form a super team for the second straight year. So what this shows to me, when you start asking for trades like this around the clock, because of the hurricane is on the team, because everybody know once he's no longer playing for the Lakers and when he finally retires, all this trade talk gonna cease, man. All this trade, and more than likely Anthony Davis, man, he gonna be, would it surprise if he left to go play elsewhere for the remainder of his career? I'm just saying, man, what this shows to me, man, there's no true belief in this team, dog. Even when Austin Reeves is your third best scorer on the team, averaging 18 points a game. Kobe Bryant didn't have that. When he led the Lakers to back-to-back, when he led the Lakers to the finals in 2008, when he led them to back-to-back championships in 2009, 2010, the second best player, Paul Gasol, was averaging 18.8 points a game. Anthony Davis is leading the Lakers in scoring this year, averaging around about 25, 26 points a game. Gasol was averaging 18.8. And the third best player, because, during the majority of that time, Andrew Bynum was off, in and out of the lineup due to, major knee injuries. Lamar Odom was the third highest scorer, averaging about 14. Trevor Ariza and Derek Fisher during the 2009 championship season was giving you about 9.5 points a game. But Kobe Bryant led them to 65 wins. And we didn't have a whole lot of firepower coming off the bench. And I love our bench that year. They played a role. They contributed to the championship. But they didn't have nobody coming off the bench, man, averaging 16, 17 points a game. They had D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench, averaging about 17, just like Russell Westbrook. They had him coming off the bench. The all-time leader in triple doubles. Kobe didn't have nothing like that, but they won 65 games. They won 65 games because everybody knew how to play their role and they competed, and it wasn't anything manufactured. Kobe set the tone right after we got eliminated in the finals by Boston in Game 6. Kobe Bryant gave that post-game presser. He said, "I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of what we achieved this year as a team, but we have to get more physical and get better on defense." He set the whole tone right there. And I knew we was going to win the championship the next year. I knew it. It was no questions. It was no ifs, ands, or buts, because we weren't even supposed to have been in the finals in 2008. Like I said, we was ahead of schedule. And then we went back to back because I believe that Kobe can get it done, man. See, the thing is, there's no belief in the team. There's no belief in this team, because if that was the case, they would be, people would be clamoring for trades every year, because they told us that the Lakers had it pretty. They had it on lock. All the moves they made, saying, "Oh, we got this, we got this, we got this. We re-signed this guy, we re-signed that guy, we re-signed this guy, we re-signed that guy. We got a new young core. We got continuity. We done moved on from the top heavy roster. We don't need no super team." And we right back at square one. They need to get a third star and a big. But you got limited. You already traded off D'Angelo Russell. They want Pelinka to create miracles on ice every year, man. And like I said, nobody will hear me as a fan of this team, lifelong fan of this team. I will not be critical of the front office. I'm not going to do that. They're not the root of the problem. I'm not going to criticize them. I'm not going to criticize the owner. I don't sit here be clamoring for trades every year. See, the challenge should be, you know what the challenge should be? Based on what was said about the team going into last year, the challenge should be for the top two players on the team to lead them. That should be the challenge. Right? It shouldn't be based on the role players. It's supposed to be based on the stars. It's supposed to be based on the stars. When Kobe and Shaq was out there getting it done, they wasn't sitting there saying, man, Robert Horry, man, he got to step up tonight, man. He got to bust 20 tonight. No. They led the way, which created momentum for the Robert Horrys to hit a major shot, or Derek Fisher to find his rhythm, to contribute to the championship run. But the onus wasn't placed on them. See? So when you clamor for these trades like this around the clock every year, basically what that's showing is there's no belief in the team. But they'll pin everything on the front office, even though the front office has capitulated every year, 7 years straight. This is going on for 7 years. So, like I said, man, they got 2 tradable first-round picks they had rights to that are eligible to be traded off. So, you trade them off. You traded off one draft pick to bring in Dennis Schroeder. He was gone after 1 year. You traded another first-round pick to facilitate a trade for Russell Westbrook. He was gone within 18 months. They're not really building. That's what I'm trying to say. They're trying to leverage the future assets to help this dude win. Because I don't think, when you really get down to it, how can you believe ultimately that he can lead you? They like the idea that he can, but it's predicated on what you put around him. When you've given him so many talented players, but they wind up playing out of position, man. And that's why this thing falters year in, year out. So why would you give up them 2 picks like that? And what if it don't work out? Then what? Because there's more than what's than what it is. There's been more, than what's than what it is. So at the end of the day, I believe what triggered this push is what happened versus the Clippers in Ivica Zubac. I think Ivica Zubac showed them that they never should have traded him. And whoever they talking about bringing up in here, man, at the end of the day, it's going to be short term. It's going to be short term. Zubac has been the Clippers center basically since after the first year he was traded there. He's been a starting center. So that means he's good enough to be that means he'd have been good enough to be the starting center of the Los Angeles Lakers. He was averaging a double-double when the Clippers advanced to the conference finals for the first time in their franchise history. He was their starting center. He was averaging a double-double on limited shot attempts. So at the end of the day, I believe that's what's going on, man. It's the same old song. There's no belief in the team, dog. It's all smoke and mirrors. Like I said, you know a championship team when you see one, man. Like when Denver 2 years ago, they had a struggle during the regular season. They had a bad slump, man. But head coach Mike Malone, man, he got them focused. And then the last month of the season, they turned around. They finished on a strong note, clinched the number 1 seed, rolled through the postseason, won their first ever championship in franchise history. They didn't make no moves during trade deadline. And this is with Jamal Murray coming off that ACL. It took him about 2 years to come back from that. So at the end of the day, man, it's the same old song. I think it's unfair to continue to request that this GM give up more assets, man, to where the Lakers will not have nothing when all this is over. Now, like I said, man, if people are cool with that, I mean, I don't know what to say. But basically, this whole 7-year period feels like a vacuum. It's detached from the history of this franchise, because the way they are being led to operate is totally foreign for what made the Lakers great. And like I said, nobody's going to win a championship every year. That Showtime Lakers didn't win every year. Kobe and Shaq, when they started off, it took them 3 years before they broke through. They had to go through the fire, man. Kobe and Powell didn't win the first year together. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is, man, it feel like a vacuum. It feel like this vacuum, this vortex, man. And the future was mortgaged off. So that's why they have to operate on year to year intervals. If this was a truly built team, yeah, okay, you may tweak the lineup here and there. Going into the new season, you may tweak it. Spurs did it all them years with Tim. They tweaked it, but they didn't gut it out. You know what I'm saying? That's not what this is, man. Because when this season ends, okay, you traded D'Lo off. So that draft pick that you gave up to get D'Lo devalued. You got 4 players that contract going to expire after this year. It's going to be the same song, man. It's going to be the same song. Meanwhile, OKC, they done built their thing up. They 35-7. Missing Chet Holmgren.
Let me see one more.
And Isaiah Hartenstein, who they signed in free agency to fill a need. They still winning, man. Why can't the Lakers do that? With all these moves they done made. Because it don't take all these moves to be made in order to have it made. And that's my whole point. So the center of attention, they looking for anybody out there, man. Walker Kessler, Wendell Carter, Nikola Vucevic, Robert Williams. They looking for anybody because they ran into their starting center this week and it hit them. That's what happened, man. That's what happened. They won't really talk about no trying to go all out to get a big per se, but they ran into Zubats this week, and it hit them like, damn, that's our starting center, man. You start hearing people talking about, man, why did we trade him? Why in the world did we trade Zubats? Exactly. Shit. Just like, why did we trade that whole young core off? That should be the question too. I guarantee you, man. Think about it. I guarantee you, they stick with their real squad. I guarantee you, fans not gonna be talking about trades every day. I guarantee you, because that shows, man, that the real team was siphoned off for this manufactured team, to try to create another championship opportunity for the Hurricane. That's what this all about, man. But I tell you what, every time there's something, they try to make a move, man, it's a team out there, man, that's going to be standing in their way, man. Denver, like I said, OKC, man, they going to be tough, man. Houston, they in second place. Memphis in second. They tied for second. I think them and Houston tied for second, man. They building, man. They building. That's all I wanted for the Lakers, man, because they was ahead of all these teams outside of Denver back in 2018. And we split the regular season series with Denver with the young core. 4 games, we beat them 2 times. I think we beat them 2 times at the time Staples, and then they beat us 2 times in their arena. I think it was called the Pepsi Arena or something like that, whatever, But at the end of the day, man, they ran into Zubats, and they was like, dang, I didn't know he was gonna turn into this, and he still ain't reached his full. I could just see him being on the team, man, and he's really involved in the offense. He'd be averaging about 22 a game. I guarantee it. Guarantee it, man. He would have found this rhythm about 3 years ago. He'd been into his game. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happened. They ran the Zubats. Now, we need a big. And we need one bad. Well, you traded him 5 years ago. If Dwight Howard was the long-term answer, he'd still be the center right now. If Andre Drummond was the long-term answer, he'll still be the center right now. If Marc Gasol was the long-term answer, he'll be the center right now. But they wasn't meant to be long-term representation for that position. And that's why they're clamoring for a big man as we speak. So until next time, I just want to drop that gold nugget, man. Like I said, man, I'm not trying to make this too, wordy, nothing like that, man. But, I'm just, it's like being inebriated, dog. You just sit here and be like, man, what next, dog? The players they done rolled up in here, dog. Most fans gonna forget that they even wore the jersey, dog. Most fans gonna even forget that they wore the jersey. But that's where we at with the Hurricane, man. That's where we at with the Hurricane, dog. Same old, man. Right before trade deadline, we need this, we need that. We ain't got no margin for error. We got to play perfect in order to win, dog. But he's supposed to be the answer, dog. The challenge should not be on the front office, man, to keep on making these moves, dog. The challenge should be on the 2 superstars who wanted to join forces with each other. It should be contingent on them to lead the team, to generate the belief that they can do it. If they're sitting here putting pressure on the front office, what they're saying is they don't believe they can do it. I bet you Denver do. I bet you OKC do. And that's my whole point. But I just want to drop that gold nugget, man, and I guess this same old song will continue. But until next time, JB, BTB, behind the bench.